Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the Olympic Stadium in East London, the other side of the city from Twickenham, where things went rather wrong for the host nation last night. Ireland take on Italy here today, with things looking rather more healthy for the Irish. Victory today would guarantee their place in the quarter-finals. Italy still entertaining slender hopes, but only a win for them today will keep those hopes alive. Conditions fine here at this great stadium, and both sides bringing significant support with them. I think the Irish support does outnumber the Italian support by a considerable factor. But with the Millennium Stadium and Wembley, they both turn to a heaving mass of green for Ireland for the wins over Canada and Romania. And this is where things get just a little bit more serious for Ireland. This pool does seem to be fairly clear-cut in the top two, perhaps with Ireland and France setting the pace. Their big decider to come, but there's no doubt that the men in green see this as a match and an opponent to be very wary of. So coach Joe Schmidt has gone for the strongest possible Irish lineup today. And Joe Schmidt hugely respected, and an enormous roar from the Irish support when he was announced earlier today and his picture appeared on the big screen. But this is the Irish lineup, a front row that Allan would expect to have the upper hand today. Loose head prop Jack McGrath keeps Cian Healy on the bench, Rory Best and Mike Ross alongside. Paul O'Connell once again leads the side on his 114th cap. It's the Ulster youngster Ian Henderson gets the nod as his partner in the second row today. Now this is the first choice in settled back row. Big ball carriers and Peter O'Mahony on the blind side, Sean O'Brien open side and Jamie Heaslip at number 8 today. And Johnny Sexton went past 500 points for Ireland in the win over Romania, and he starts today outside scrum half Conor Murray. But once again, just an indication that this is the first choice team, very much so for Ireland today. In the midfield for Ireland, Connacht centre Robbie Henshaw gets his first taste of the tournament after recovering from a hamstring problem. Keith Earls at outside centre with Jared Payne injured. And in the back three, a niggle for Rob Kearney means that Simon Zebo instead starts at full back, but Dave Kearney starts in the wing with Tommy Bowe out on the right, looking to add to his 30 international tries. And there is the way they line up. Paul O'Connell, of course, once again leading the side, but strength throughout. Just a couple of missing personnel. Rob Kearney injured at full-back as well, so Zebo getting the nod there. But Conor Murray has become pivotal to the Irish side, and so many of the Irish players are key. There's talk of greater strength and depth, but they cannot afford any injuries, and the likes of Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton, they want big performances from them, but they also want them to remain injury-free. Paul O'Connell hits 114 caps today. And what a leader he has been for so long. Well, since the retirement of Brian O'Driscoll. But again, he'll be everywhere, all over the pitch, and big ball carrying expected from the likes of Jamie Heaslip, who again is a leader on the pitch. They've got plenty of leaders and lieutenants around the pitch, very experienced players throughout. Rory Best, the hooker, you'd think another one, and Heaslip will certainly play his part. And Robbie Henshaw, talked about him getting his first opportunity. The Connacht centre doesn't provide too many internationals. Connacht, that's the lesser of the provinces. I mentioned the Italian fans being outnumbered here. Looking at, there are just occasional splashes of blue, but the general tableau, the bigger tableau, is almost all green. But Italy, they've been none too convincing in the World Cup so far. They got that win over Canada, narrow victory. But can they step up here and beat Ireland? They beat them a couple of years ago, but apart from that, the last 10 matches or so, more than that, 20 matches, have almost all gone Ireland's way. Sergio Parisse, though, is back after a calf problem. Castro Giovanni not involved today, so he's gone for the shaggy-haired look. Doesn't like cameras. And this is the way that Italy line up. Andrea Manici replaces the very experienced but injured hooker Leonardo Giraldini, flanked by Mattias Aguero and Lorenzo Cittadini as the props today. In the second row, Josh Furno, a rich source of ball on the line out, and 6'8" South African-born Quentin Geldenhuys is another commanding figure. And how Italy will be delighted to see their talisman back at number 8. Sergio Parisse returns from a calf injury to lead the side. Francesco Minto and Simone Favaro on the flanks. Eduardo Gori and Tommy Allan now firmly established as Italy's first choice half-back combination. A couple of dangerous players in the backs to look out for the lively and talented youngster Michele Campagnaro, who starts outside Gonzalo Garcia in the midfield. And in the back three, winger Leonardo Sarto scored tries against England, against Wales and Ireland in the Six Nations, with Jamba Venditti on the other wing, and Luke McLean winning his 74th cap at full-back. So there is the lineup, but right at the heart of it, as he so often is, whenever he's fit, he's the first name down on the team sheet, Sergio Parisse, but it will need to be his greatest inspirational performance today. Tommy Allan, so he used to play for Scotland under-20s. His father, John Allan, I remember watching him play hooker for Scotland. He played hooker for South Africa as well in the days when you could play for a couple of countries. But Tommaso Allan, very much a fixture in the Italian side now. And Michele Campagnaro, just 22 in the centre, but perhaps one of the more exciting backs. Remember him having a try-scoring exploits against Wales in the past as well. But changes in the front row, so no Martin Castrogiovanni today, unspecified injury. Matheus Aguero is currently without a club, 34 now. Aguero, he's in the front row, but again, you would expect Ireland to have the upper hand. The Italy scrum is not what it was a few years ago. Josh Furno, Australian-born, second row, and you'll see him as the go-to man in the line-out, although Sergio Parisse offers another option there in the line-out for Italy today. So perhaps the workload eased on Furno. But a great scene, a wonderful stadium, and it's been a beautiful day today in East London, and we're set for this one. Coin toss took place a short while ago. Jérôme Garcia, the referee. And it's
take the kick-off.
Let's see. Sergio Parisse. Italy won the toss there, and they will be kicking from left to right as we look down from the main stand here in the first half. The Webb Ellis Trophy in close attendance, and Alan Quinlan alongside me for this one. It's going to have to be a huge performance from Italy really to threaten Ireland.
You look at Parisse and O'Connell there, two inspirational leaders, and you mentioned Parisse in the build-up there. He's vital for Italy today to give them that lift. Their results have been poor. On paper, Ireland should win this game convincingly, but Italy are going to come out with a lot of passion, a lot of belief from Parisse, and they've got to really play above themselves if they're going to beat this Irish team, which is full of confidence. But they have that ability, they have a lot of passion when they put on that jersey, and certainly they're going to have a massive performance to upset Ireland today.
There's Parisse. I was talking to Carlo Del Fava, former Italian lock, before the match, and he said he'd been chatting with Parisse and watching him in training as well. Now you can see how heavily strapped that calf is. It was a hematoma, badly bruised calf. He had it drained, went back to his club Stade Francais to rehabilitate, but he's still not nearly 100%. Ireland then, O'Connell leading the rallying cry beforehand. Sexton directly opposite him, asking for any sort of help. Just a step up for Ireland today. They beat Canada convincingly, and then Romania also. But they'll be looking for a full, complete performance today. As for Italy, can they upset things? There have been upsets in this World Cup. And again, it's been a fairly wretched run of form for Italy. Over the last couple of years, they really have to turn things around. Perhaps the return of Parisse for the first match in his World Cup this year can inspire that.
As an Irishman, Andrew, I'm nervous because it is all the confidence and what people are expecting. You know, the whole World Cup has gone so well for Ireland so far, and certainly they can't underestimate Italy in any way today.
So the players are summoned. Angus Gardner, Australian assistant. We are just about ready for this match here at the Olympic Stadium. Another great venue, a wonderful setting. Newham in East London. 50,000 people crammed inside the Olympic Stadium. We saw such great sporting drama 3 years ago, and saw New Zealand against Namibia here, and it was all bedecked in black shirts. And here the hue is decidedly green. The vast majority of the 50,000 inside the stadium supporting Ireland here. Two sides that know each other so well from the Six Nations, ready themselves to take to the field inside the Olympic Stadium. It's a long walk from the interior to get out. It's a bit Spinal Tap to get lost on the way.
Is that the track where Usain Bolt won the 100 metres? You were here for the Olympics, Andrew.
Yes, the Olympics was a wonderful event here. But now out again to the flames and the noise inside this Olympic Stadium with the Webb Ellis Trophy waiting. They run to either side, and Ireland and Italy just a few moments away from kick-off here in this penultimate match for both these sides in this pool. So can Italy dig a performance out of somewhere to threaten Ireland today? We shall see. The noise has been made by the spectators, and now it's a chance for the spectators and the players to sing as we ready ourselves for the anthems inside the Olympic Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the anthems of Italy, then Ireland, supported by a chord chamber choir.
Fratelli d'Italia around the Olympic Stadium. They never want for passion, this Italian side, but they'll need more than that today. And Ireland's turn to respond. What a wonderful atmosphere inside the stadium. A reminder of how the two teams line up today. Ireland coach Joe Schmidt selecting the very strongest lineup available to him, and grateful that Robbie Henshaw is fit again to take his place in the centre with Jared Payne unavailable. Jack McGrath keeping out Keane Healy at loosehead prop. Certainly in the scrum, Ireland will look to have the advantage. Up front for Italy, no Castro Giovanni. An injury keeps the experienced prop out, but it's a welcome back Parisse at number 8, and how the Italians have missed their captain. Campagnaro in the centre and Sarto on the wing, both pretty useful at finding their way to the trial line. The replacements for both sides, Ireland have Healy to bring on in the front row, Fitzgerald and Madigan lively backs for Italy. The old warhorse flanker Mauro Bergamasco continues his 5th World Cup from the bench. So Johnny Sexton has a little bit of listening, but he does plenty of talking as well. He's one of the more experienced players in this Irish side. Now I still think of him as the youngster trying to usurp Ronan O'Gara, but he is a very, very experienced man himself now, as is of course Sergio Parisse. But well, he has fought and grappled in some substandard Italian sides of late so hard, and so often he's left there almost trying to do it on his own, but he does lift those around him. And a reminder again that just 2 years ago Italy beat Ireland in Rome in the Six Nations, beat France as well. Can they lift themselves again today? Referee for this one is Jérôme Garcia. He's had some interesting games. South Africa against Japan, the upsets there early in the tournament, and England against Wales. And go for the big dramatic countdown on the clock for this latest match in Pool D, Ireland against Italy.
Captain Green, blue.
The final instruction from Jérôme Garcia, and it's Tommaso Allan who gets us underway in this match here at the Olympic Stadium. And Tommy Bowe took that one down and immediately took the thump as well. And Ireland will try and do some heavy work out of their own 22. Conor Murray, forwards bottom a few extra yards, and a fine kick there with Parisse waiting. And that's perfect clearance there from Ireland after the start from Tommy Allan, but Italy deep into the 22.
Yeah, simple
Keep the
stuff.
line. Keep the line.
Back to Tommy Bowe takes it. He gets hit very hard by Sarto. Great chase by Sarto. He puts that pressure on. Bowe does well to take the tackle and present the ball, and Ireland just clear their lines.
First line out of the game then, and it goes a little bit astray for Italy, but Cittadini, the prop, was at the back to whip it out, and then Luke McLean, and then the big hit comes in from Dave Kearney on his opposite number, Venditti. Italy with a chance to show what they can do just inside that Irish half, and Gonzalo Garcia. And plenty of ball here as Aguero, the prop forward, having a little barge. And then the spill, my goodness. Who would have thought Sergio Parisse would be the first man to make a mistake for Italy? That's a little bit rusty, now a chance for Ireland, but Heaslip, he stood up strong in the tackle there, and it's Keith Earls kicking it long, but McLean waits. And Luke McLean sends it. It's not the best kick. Plenty of time there for Sexton. Sexton spirals it towards touch, and Parisse points the way to the touch judge, but it'll be an Italian line out just inside their own half.
Great strike from Sexton there. He gets a perfect trajectory there on the ball, and Italy will take some confidence from that. I know it ended up with Parisse knocking the ball on, a little bit rusty, a little bit nervy from Parisse, but good composure, good control early on.
And so Italy with another chance.
The ball here, no. Away.
That's good clearing out, and Italy come again.
Back.
There's Gori, feeds Parisse, and then wider it goes. And in there by Campagnaro. And Allan thinks he sees a bit of space. Oh, and it's just out on the full. It clipped the line on the outside, and Kearney was quick to point. There's a big mistake from Tommy Allan. And all the way back they'll come. It'll be an Irish line out.
The guy touched the ball.
Good defence from Ireland, a great tackle from Keith Earls there. Something that he's been questioned about before, that physicality. He looks sharp early on in this game, and Italy forced a kick it there. Tommaso Allan just overcooks it, a little bit of space behind Dave Kearney, but just overcooks it straight into touch.
Well, Gonzalo Garcia is done for this match. He saw Sergio Parisse making the substitution motion with his hands, and so on comes Tommaso Benvenuti, a very, very good centre himself, plays for Bristol now, joined them in January. So he comes on very early for Gonzalo Garcia, but I'm very sad to see Garcia lasted just a few minutes in this match.
Blue, open the gap, please.
Very sad to see a player going off like that. He looks devastated, and I'm sure he is. But Benvenuti, very good player to come on.
But Allan with the ball now, and a chance, and Sexton makes the mistake, and heading in on him was Favaro, the flanker. Parisse now, and Parisse gives a loose pass, scooped up by McLean, infield to Sarto. Sarto trying to keep it alive, and McLean, and Italy do manage to keep that ball just in play. And Gori feeds Allan, and then on to Furno. In fact, it's Francesco Minto carries it in, and there is Parisse now. Gives it wide. Good power from Venditti, really is a muscular winger. So Italy, plenty of ball to play with early on. And Gori thinks he sees a gap himself, scoops it back to Parisse, bounces off his man. That was a hard hit coming in on Ian Henderson, who felt that. And Italy making good ground now. Furno, Henderson wrestling with him. Then in comes Jack McGrath. Cries of Ireland from the crowd, but it's Italy on the front foot at the moment. Luke McLean, the fullback, coming in, and Gori once more feeds Aguero. And Gori to Campagnaro. Gori once again. Little poke down the blind side through McLean and onto the hooker Manici. Manici makes good ground again for Italy into the 22. Phase after phase. Good continuity from the Azzurri. Gori trying to dig that one out, but it's not coming, and holding onto the ball. It ends in an Irish penalty. Good defence ultimately from Ireland, but encouraging signs for Italy.
Great play from Italy. The turnover comes here. Sean O'Brien and Paul O'Connell, they lock into the ball there, just can't be cleaned out. Particularly O'Brien, when he gets that low, he's very, very powerful. Brilliant turnover from Ireland, but really confident play from Italy. And interestingly, they're playing with a lot of width. They're not looking to bash it up the middle. They're taking some forwards around the fringes and then looking to go width. Venditti has made a good few carries already, and he's a guy Ireland will remember from 2013 when they beat Ireland in Rome. He scored a try that day. Very powerful runner.
A mighty fine touch finder there is Garcia. Allan was saying, really forlorn figure, the heavy strapping on his thigh and a bit of ice in there as well. But a very good touch from Sexton, and leaves Rory Best to try and hit his man here, and his man is Heaslip, and there is Conor Murray. Beautifully weighted pass, and Sexton then finds Keith Earls. And Ireland now, oh, they have a real opportunity here, and it's Sexton himself going, and Sexton deep into the 22, and Ireland up to within 10 metres or so. Then it's O'Connell. Advantage to Ireland, penalty coming. So a free attack here. And Rory Best. And Murray gives it to Zebo, tries to skip past one.
Advantage win.
Still with the Irish advantage. There is Henderson. The arm of Garcia is still outstretched. Once more, Ireland have an attack, knowing that penalty is there for them. And Ireland being patient. Henderson driven back by Leonardo Sarto. Still with that advantage. Sexton to Zebo is hammered back. Enough is enough, says Jerome Garces. He will give that penalty now to Ireland. There's offside, and may well be a simple pop-at goal for Johnny Sexton.
Encouraging play from Ireland, building some great phases there. Good defence, it has to be said. Sexton here. He's so good with ball in hand, really, really powerful. Great cover tackle coming across from Sarto. Italy hanging on for dear life and putting in some really, really big hits around the fringes there.
And the decision is, as you would expect, early in the game with no points on the board, get something up there. So Jonathan Sexton, who he went past 500 points, international points, with his points against Romania. I had slightly different points in my stats, 513 and 508. Well, let's just give him north of 500. Plenty, it should just say on the graphic, plenty of points. And it should be 3 more here for Sexton. So key to Ireland's hopes in this championship. And both sides have had their chances early in this match, and Sexton, it always takes the full allotment of time. It doesn't matter whether it's 45 metres out or 15 metres out. Johnny Sexton, same routine, and it delivers time after time. And Ireland have the early points on the board and have the lead with 8.5 minutes gone.
They'll be pretty happy to get ahead. Italy started very, very brightly, building those phases, and I think Ireland will expect that a little bit. You know, Italy gung-ho from the start, very, very physical and making a lot of carries.
And Italy still with the chance. It's not all about Ireland today. Italy lost heavily to France, then beat Canada narrowly, but still a victory which leaves them in touch if they can win this match today. And Ireland can make sure of their qualification for the quarterfinals of victory. Roddy Best, often so dynamic in the loose, and
Release 9 off feet.
And Gori, the Italian scrum half, told to release it as he was off his feet, so he did as he was told.
Good ball,
And laid back by Henderson for Ireland. Conor Murray scoops it high. And Tommy Allan coming forward for it, but it goes to Ireland, and it's a wonderful play through Earls now.
Back.
And Ireland come again through Sean O'Brien. Sexton once again, little trip. This one is a charge down. I think it was Quentin Geldenhuys, giant man in the second row, getting his hands to that one. So it's carried forward now by Jack McGrath, the Leinster prop. Conor Murray looks both sides, then feeds Henderson. No way around Parisse.
Stay 8.
And Sexton, a little pop pass inside from Robbie Henshaw, didn't quite work. And so it'll be a scrum, the first scrum of the game, and a scrum to Italy.
Brilliant pressure from Italy. I tell you, Favaro is putting in a few massive hits. We see the hit here on Kearney. Ball has just come. You could argue maybe it's without the ball, but the ball is just about to land in him in the basket. He makes the brilliant tackle, and you know, they're stopping Henderson, they're stopping O'Brien, they're stopping that bit of momentum for Ireland, and
Timing for the tackle.
a risky kick from Sexton, and Henshaw tidies up for him, but Ireland forcing it a little bit there, but good defence from Italy.
Yeah, pack weights, Ireland with the advantage, and again, you've played against Italy a few times, Allan, and when you played against them, the pack was probably slightly more formidable than it is now.
Well, they've lost a few old war horses, there's no doubt about that, but one thing you're guaranteed with Italy is physicality, aggression, passion, and they're big men. If you look at the size of Geldenhuys and Furno in the second row, they have a big back row as well. Minto, big guy, and Parisse, very strong, abrasive footballers as well. Sometimes I think they lack that cutting edge in the back line.
First scrum, very important. Build your setup, means open your shoulder. Strong.
Open your shoulder, strong is the instruction from Jérôme Garcia, which is just a collection of words.
Open one.
What does it mean though?
Not sure.
Open your shoulders and be strong.
It's like a sort of something you'd find inside a fortune cookie, but everyone should pay heed to Jérôme Garcia's first scrum of the day. Was essentially the message from him. And a pristine pitch at the moment, good conditions underfoot.
Bind! Set!
Again, Ireland might expect to have the edge here in this part of the game, but Italy firm at the moment. Use it. Parisse is being told to use it. He shakes his head, disobeying the referee, but he gets it away eventually. Parisse to Tommaso Allan, then on to Campagnaro, and Campagnaro is heaved towards touch. Doesn't go into touch though. It's with Ireland, and now Italy get Ireland into touch. Keith Earls clinging onto the ball. Earls thought that Italy were in touch earlier, but it will be an Italian line-out, so that didn't work too badly for the Italians.
On the line, please, Green.
No, it didn't. Campagnaro, just Tommy Bowe quite high on him, trying to put him into touch. Just pops the ball out.
Green, please.
I think everyone thinks he's in touch. Earls tidies up and gets bundled in himself.
Let's see who the go-to man here is for Italy. You've got Furno and Parisse there for Manici, the zebra hooker, to find that it's Furno, the Australian-born lock. Familiar figure in the second row for Italy now, and Italy try and get this driving maul rolling forward. A few detach and then latch on once again. And they made a few meters, Italy. And again, good ground. Gori just steering things at the back and then having a look and going himself. And now Allan tries to sneak his way through. So once again into the Irish 22. Carried in there by Simone Favaro. The open side flanker is heading to Glasgow after the Rugby World Cup. And then there is Leonardo Sarto. Coming in off the wing, Sarto. Again, he's always a threat when he gets the ball, and Favaro gives it to Furno. And Furno upended by Robbie Henshaw. Allan gives it beyond Parisse. And a chance again for Campagnaro. Swats one man aside. Henderson had him though, but picked up by Luke McLean. The fullback makes good ground for Italy. Once again, they're threatening. Parisse tries to skip around Keith Earls, but the centre has him, and then it's knocked back illegally by Ireland. Penalty to Italy, and a chance, an immediate chance with a fairly straightforward kick to level things.
Really good play from Italy there, and I think back a few phases, Tommaso Allan nearly gets through there, throws the dummy. Henshaw just gets him, and this is the penalty. Yeah, I think he's very, very lucky Heaslip there not to get a card from that. The hand comes in, swings the ball out. It's a definite penalty. Really good play from Italy. Getting a bit of, getting soft edges out on the outside that 13 channel from Ireland, and really good composure, retaining the ball.
So it will be a shot at goal from Tommaso Allan, Tommy Allan. I think I might have said earlier that it was his father who played for Scotland and South Africa. John Allan was is his uncle. I don't want to create any disharmony within the Allan family. But Tommy Allan played Scotland under-20s, lives for Perpignan. And I think he is the answer now. Italy have long had a problem trying to find a fly half, really since the days of Diego Dominguez, the Argentinian-born fly half, who was a rich source of points for them. And Tommy Allan, the latest to try and fill that number 10 jersey. A sweet strike from Allan, and a quarter of an hour gone inside the Olympic Stadium, and we're tied up at 3 points apiece, and certainly Italy would deserve that and the balance of play. And as Alan Quinlan alongside me was saying, you could almost have argued that a yellow card might have been merited there for Ireland, infringing in such a promising position for Italy. And there we are, there are plenty of Italian fans here. Although again, you look around the stadium and it is cloaked in green. But a good start to this match for Italy. And the restart eventually finds its way to Francesco Minto, Treviso flanker, and there is his fellow flanker Favaro.
Back.
And Parisse just decides to charge headlong into Rory Best and Ian Henderson, the Ulster pair. And good driving work by the rest of the Italian forwards as well, but as it's carried in there, Ireland will get the scrum. And that's the best possible result there for the Irish.
Parisse not happy with this. He bumps Rory Best a little bit. Henderson gets in there. The referee calls it very early, Maul. Calls it much too early, I think, and that's where the frustration is coming from Parisse. But Ireland, when you hear that Maul call, they stay in there, throw their bodies on the ball, and get the scrum.
The first scrum was really good. So keep walking like this.
Yeah, just to explain to the uninitiated Allan why that decision then, why the scrum now goes to Ireland with Italy carrying it in there, just because they didn't get it to ground.
But we can
it's not getting the ball to ground. Henderson does really, really well. Very, very strong and powerful.
We are like
assisted by Ross, and if you can't get that ball to the ground pretty quickly, referee calls maul, you can just stay. When it does fall down, you can just hold the ball up, lie across it any way you want.
Jerome Garcia, you might have heard him saying he was very pleased with the way the first scrum went. It was a good report card, and wants to say in here, referees just want stability. They don't care who is the upper hand, they just want good scrums. As we all do, no one wants to see them go down like that. And you hear the noise.
Now use a long bind, boss.
Just disappear from
you are
the
like
stadium.
This, the reason why you go on the ground.
Scrum coaching from Jerome Garcia now.
It's interesting, Gori there putting a lot of pressure on Conor Murray, little push, little shove, just to let him know he's there.
There's a Cittadini there on the tight head, nearest to us for Italy, plays for Wasp now. He's a formidable scrummager.
Big, strong man, very, very strong scrummager.
Set. Don't move. Stay like this, your bind. Keep your bind. Keep your mind.
Garcia is chatting away all the time, and they're pretty solid from both sides there. And Heaslip gives it to Conor Murray, little chip through for Zebo and for Tommy Bowe to chase, but into touch it goes. And Italy will have the line out, but you can see the position in the field of play that Ireland now have deep into the Italian 22.
The idea is good defence from Italy though. Solid scrum. You can see how low Peter O'Mahony is there on Mike Ross. Good pressure from Italy in defence. I think Murray would have wanted that ball to stay up and one of the Italians to bring it into touch.
But the Italian line out under pressure. This time it's Parisse, but he can't quite get to it. Ireland still it in there. Conor Murray gives it to Heaslip. And Heaslip with O'Brien alongside him. And Ian Henderson now, what ground he's made with O'Connell in support. And Ireland pouring forward. Carried in now by Robbie Henshaw. Is a try for Keith Earls. And Earls has scored again. Keith Earls breaking records at this Rugby World Cup. He's now Ireland's all-time leading try scorer at Rugby World Cups, passing Brian O'Driscoll. And 3 in this World Cup alone. And Ireland of the first try of the game. And it all came from the steal.
Brilliant work from Peter O'Mahony there, and winning the line out of Parisse. Heaslip takes it up. A quick play of the ball from Conor Murray, and lovely little switch play. Robbie Henshaw, and a great offload to Earls. He's there on the support line. Wonderful, wonderful score from Ireland. You can see the line here. Henshaw very, very powerful. Favaro can't get him, or Sarto, and he just gets the hands free. Earls hunting on the inside. Great try, Ireland.
Great support play by Keith Earls, and that gives him 8 tries in World Cups. He scored a couple against Romania, and now passes Brian O'Driscoll, who had 7 in World Cups from his career. And Sexton, almost exactly where he knocked over that penalty from earlier on, to give Ireland the early move into double digits. So Ireland, from being tied at 3 points apiece, suddenly have a fairly handsome 7-point lead, and worth looking at again.
Just holds up the Italian defence, runs a great line. Favaro just falls off Robbie Henshaw, and that causes the problem. Gets the hands free. If he makes that tackle around the legs there, Sarto can wrap the ball.
It'll be very dispiriting for Italy, but Ireland have done that to many sides in recent years from a pretty rare passage of good territory. They score, they take their chances very well. Ireland.
Yeah, okay, back.
And Murray. That's a very good clearing kick from a deep position. He's bought Ireland a lot of territory there. Italian line out, but right up on the halfway line now.
It's simple stuff done really well. They win the kick-off again. Sean O'Brien stands off the ruck, makes that carry up just to bring it in field a little bit. And then Murray, he's brilliant with that hook, making that clearance to touch, getting them to the halfway.
Yes, exit strategies. Doesn't sound too glamorous, but that's what it's all about in rugby as much as anything else. Favaro takes it. Didn't look the straightest line out, but fine, said the referee. Fields of Athenry, just a faint cry of that in the background from the crowd. And Campagnaro feeds Luke McLean. Just finished a spell with Sale Sharks in the English Premiership, now back in Italy.
Backwards!
Now went backwards, says Jérôme Garces, and is still just with Italy.
Back.
Parisse once again in the fly-half position. Gives it out wide to Geldenhuys, the South African-born second rower. Gori under pressure from Henderson, and the Fields of Athenry grows louder. Parisse again at the heart of things, and Gori now gives it to Allan, who sends it to the rafters, and Zebo waiting for this one. In fact, it's Dave Kearney coming forward, and it went backwards, and it works well for Ireland and Keith Earls and Murray, and in trying to muscle his way through is Henderson, and Murray just about round the fringes. Thought he saw a gap appearing. There was so many defenders drawn in, there will be gaps, but then it goes forward, and Campagnaro and Parisse, and a chance for Italy to counter, and Parisse flings it out wide. Geldenhuys onto Favaro.
To work.
And Italy again with an opportunity. McLean gives it deep to Allan. He too finds support in Sarto, and then on to Jamba Venditti. Really is a massive winger, Venditti, and Furno now gives it on to Gori, who's under all sorts of pressure from Jack
No,
McGrath.
it's a work form. Back.
But Italy making some good ground again, and Italy have the penalty. And the man infringing there again is Paul O'Connell.
It's not good for blue because you stay here.
O'Connell not rolling away at that, but it comes from great counter-attack from Italy. It comes from the turnover where Ireland look like they're going forward. Murray makes a little break. Heaslip picks up at the breakdown, and Rory Best just loses the ball. This is the penalty from O'Connell, making the tackle there and just not rolling away, not getting out of it quick enough. And we know how hot the referees have been at this World Cup, and it's a correct decision. And that's the turnover there. Great reaction from Italy. Parisse given the wide pass. Sean O'Brien defending quite well. Geldenhuys and Favaro out wide, and straight back with width again from Italy. That's what's impressive about this. Out the back door to Tommaso Allan, looking for width straight away.
So it will be Allan with another penalty attempt. And that one perhaps even more sweetly struck than the first. Bit of an angle to counter there, and Tommy Allan brings Italy back within 4 points. And again, Ireland with the only try of the game, but Italy have had plenty of play.
Absolutely, and that'll give them a boost after losing that line out. It was a bit of a hammer blow. It was the first real time Ireland attacked in the Italy 22 and steal that line out, and then the Earls try. So that'll give them a little bit of a boost there to get back, get a score on the board again.
A rather laboured switch of direction from Ireland at the restart, and Sexton, this time it doesn't quite work for the men in green, taken in instead by Leonardo Sarto. And there is Parisse and Favaro. I wonder how fit Parisse is though, with that big strapping on his calf.
He looks to be passing, making a lot of passes and staying out of contact a fair bit, Parisse.
Sorry, 9. Stay.
He injured himself in the warm-up game against Wales, and the warm-up games did not go well for Italy. Not many have of late. Zebo.
Stay 9.
And that may well be too long, but how does it sit up at all? Oh, it's going all the way dead here. And a bit of a mistake. There are not huge in-goal areas here at the Olympic Stadium, but all the way back they'll come because Zebo kicked it dead.
Yeah, it is a big mistake. You can see what he's trying to do, put it into the corner, but a huge boost for Italy. They're back close to the Ireland 22 with a scrum, and a chance to put some more pressure and try and get another score on board. A penalty maybe. Stay in there, hold on to the ball.
There's Jacques Brunel, who's leaving after the World Cup. He was part of Bernard Laporte's French setup at the World Cups in 2003 and 2007. And then Perpignan, very successful at Perpignan, and then got the Italian job, but it's sometimes a bit of a poison chalice, the Italian coaching job. You see where the action has been happening, and it's been mostly territory in possession for Italy. So to a great backdrop of sound from the Irish fans. The scrum buckles in the front row again. Jerome Garcia is giving this every chance to carry on and get that ball away, which Parisse does now. So Italy come again through Allan. He floats it out wide and carried in by Leonardo Sarto. And just a little roll or two brings them further on. Furno sells half a dummy and then crashes into Heaslip and O'Connell. And Gori gives it Campagnaro, and Gori looking for the penalties there. It's just advantage, so Italy with a free attack this time, and Aguero, and there is the penalty, no advantage coming. So Italy are digging their way back into this game. They conceded that try, and a lot of the play is for the men in blue.
Not a good play from Italy, taking the ball. It's interesting to see they're trying to hit up the middle, and then immediately...
Not clear release, 14...
immediately Gori's going back in the blind side. They've obviously looked and saw opportunities in the blind side from Ireland.
I know it's out wide, but that's still a rather curious decision there to not take the shot at goal.
I think he should take the shot at goal there, bring it back to 1 point, take the confidence from that, and let's wait and see. If they score a try, we'll be wrong. But they're certainly playing with a fair bit of confidence, Italy. They don't seem daunted by the task or previous form.
Well, they made good ground with the rolling maul down that touchline from further out. Not that long ago, but they have to secure the ball first of all. It's an overthrow and it's gone now, and it's now into frantic defence for Italy because there's men out wide here for Ireland, and Dave Kearney, a massive hit comes in on him from Sarto, but still with Ireland. And there is a hit, a hard hit on Robbie Henshaw. But what a chance going begging for Italy. They had possible 3 points on offer. Sean O'Brien takes it in for Ireland.
And that's the problem when it goes wrong, it just drains you, heads drop a little bit. Big opportunity lost for Italy there.
And Luke McLean's having to watch this, and from his own 22 now, try and buy Italy back some territory. But there we are, it's a decent clearing kick, but it's still going to be an Irish line out, and a strange decision. Again, we seem very wise in hindsight there, but it's a simple enough one. Just take the points if you can.
Absolutely, and O'Connell calls the defence and the attack, when to go up, when to challenge, and he obviously called at the tail of the line out there, not give him a free ball. Henderson goes up, and it forces the overthrow from Manici there, and I tell you, if Dave Kearney gives the ball on the outside, it could have been worse for Italy.
And now Ireland's own line out, and O'Connell is there and just slaps it back to Murray, and there is Henshaw and Sexton, and out to Zebo.
Sorry, 6.
And you can hear the thump of body on body as Favaro took down his man. And there's O'Brien. And Ireland now with another opportunity here. Half an hour gone. And just 4 points in it. And Italy perhaps with slightly more of the game of late, but Ireland losing out on that occasion. Parisse lays it back.
Ireland just panicking a bit. Henshaw with the kick, and it turning it over.
Campagnaro tries to chip over the head of O'Brien, but O'Brien got a big mitts to it and slapped it up in the air and took it down himself. And there is Jack McGrath. He looks as if he didn't quite know where he was going for a moment, but as he takes it in, it was a little... It's going to be an Italian scrum. So a few things for Ireland to think about and work on here.
Yeah, Italy putting them under a lot of pressure to break down there again.
Wait.
O'Brien does well to collect that ball, and Jack McGrath ends up in scrum half.
There is a TMO check for the tackle here.
Okay, we're going to look at a tackle. TMO has
want to check the tackle here.
Intervened. Occasionally, Jerome Garcia gets a little whisper in his ear from the TMO, Graham Hughes today. We're checking for a high tackle. Well, what they're checking there, I presume, is what we call the neck roll now on Dave Kearney.
Okay.
I think he holds on to the legs there, and initially when I saw that, you can see he lifts him up.
Oh no, yeah, this is from Gori, isn't it? It's not from Aguero, the neck roll.
He's got to let go of the legs there. That's actually dangerous, holding a player up in the air like that.
Yes, Jerome.
Potentially yellow card.
For me, the blue player lift the green player.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wants to put the player in the dangerous situation.
No, it's okay. But penalty only would be for me as well. Yep.
Yeah.
There we
To
are.
be a penalty only, I don't think he wants to put the player on the ground, but it's just a penalty. Yeah.
He possibly did want to, but he didn't. That's the key thing. So anyway, listen, that's just a penalty, the right decision, but it's silly from Gori.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's the right decision. You lift the guy's legs, release his legs there. You're holding a player up like that in a very, very dangerous position. Let go of the legs. He doesn't spiral him down into the ground. I agree with him there, but let go, release the legs straight away.
So half an hour gone, and Italy with their opportunities, but then little things like this can add up in rugby, and it's going to be a pop-at goal from Johnny Sexton. And there we are. Look how just got a glimpse of the stats there, but in so many aspects of the game, there's very, very little in it. But again, I said, sometimes the stats lie, because there doesn't have to be a lot in it in the stats. It's just little moments like that which can, at the end of it, as you look back, become big moments, because Sexton will punish any indiscretion by Italy. All the play that Italy have had in this first half. But now, after the mistake, the infringement by Eduardo Gori, another opportunity for Jonathan Sexton. And wide off the uprights. You can hear the gasp from the crowd as they thought it was going wide, and it did just. And Italy are spared on this occasion. They can't do that too often. Sexton will not miss too many more. Allan, under huge pressure, just gets that kick away. Again, not too much of an angle to work with, and he's done well. Allan, and Sexton went through his laborious routine, but didn't come off that time. Often they slide in off the upright, but this one just went the right side from an Italian point of view.
Parisse there to tidy up. He doesn't look like he's running fully. Parisse looks like he's certainly holding back a little bit with the injury, but tidies up well there. What a clearance from Tommaso Allan there. Great, no angle to work on behind his own goal line. Great touch finder. Best goes long to O'Connell. Familiar figure, hoisted high and held at the back now by Rory Best. So often the position, he's the driver. Might pop his head up, have a look at the direction they're steering in, and huge ground being made here by Ireland. Well, Ireland complaining that was brought down, but in fact it's going to end in a scrum, and was it an Italian scrum?
Correct, it's a ball by Green. He's through the middle.
You can see Geldenhuys here. He comes straight through the middle of the maul. Heaslip, all heads down. He slips up along through the middle of it. Fantastic work. If you're an Italian player there, you're delighted with that effort, that work. Brunel will be delighted with that. And just frustrating Ireland again. Good clean line out, but he's 100% right there. He gets his hands in, holds the ball up. Correct decision.
One of the best rugby, I think, in this half that Italy have played in this World Cup so far. That 32-10 defeat to France, never really at the races, and then they were really troubled by Canada, only won by 5 points in the end. But here, and perhaps it is just the presence of Parisse as much as anything else is lifting them. The scrum has looked a bit more robust, although Ireland getting a bit of a squeeze on here, but Gori feeds Allan, then popped out to Campagnaro, and Campagnaro taken down by Henshaw. Henshaw's strip has been shredded a little bit by a boot or two. But Italy again with the ball, and Aguero, man without club at the moment. This is show reel. A little charge on from Manici. In for Giraldini today, who is certainly their first choice hooker, but Giraldini injured, but Manici acquitting himself well. Gori digging for it again. Parisse once more.
Rock form!
Gori didn't go for the dummy runner, but then the dummy runner, who was Manici, adjudged to having crossing, interfering with the defence there. I think possibly he was intending to give it Manici, and then Manici just sort of overran it, or whether it was a planned move.
I think he should give the ball there. It's a great opportunity. I know he's probably going to get tackled by Mike Ross, but you're always risking that when you don't give the pass. Again, Gori bouncing back in the blind side. It's something Italy have done pretty regularly. Ireland's starting to hold more defenders in that blind side now because they've got a few soft edges around there, and they get the penalty for crossing.
You can hear the swell of noise inside the Olympic Stadium to greet that touch finder from Johnny Sexton, because it has taken play deep into the Italian half, and Ireland's line out. And what can they do now with a catch and drive, perhaps? A little smuggled and smothered instruction there from Jack McGrath to Rory Best. And Best, one of the most experienced hookers in the game, looks once again to O'Connell. In Ireland, Italy not engaging here. It's a choice that some teams make, and Alan Quinn will explain why in a moment. But Ireland now with a chance, if they can trample over some prone bodies, to get this moving towards the line. And Conor Murray at close quarters to Henshaw, but Sarto was up so quickly in defence. And Murray making ground himself now, the scrum half. In fact, it was Elmani who took it in, then Murray, and now Zebo. And Zebo has plenty of attention from the replacement Benvenuti. But Ireland now with options either side, although most are lined up to the left. And Murray goes that way, and Rory Best. And again, this time to the captain O'Connell, who builds up a fine head of steam. Murray once more tries to skip around Aguero. The ball's still there for Ireland, and for Jack McGrath, pops it out to fellow forwards. Rory Best tumbles to the ground. Ireland building again, the patience is there. Last time they were this close, they scored. Do they have a second try? It's out there to Tommy Bowe. Well watched, a couple of defenders take him down. Ian Henderson out wide. An advantage to Ireland. The referee's arm outstretched. They do have a penalty coming, not far from half-time. How they'd love another try. O'Mahony goes with Heaslip for company. Tommy Bowe looks, feeds on to O'Connell, straight to the ground. Once more Ireland, O'Brien, little loop around from Sexton, but the defence in the shape of Parisse quickly there, no advantage, coming back for the penalty after 13 phases of trying, of knocking at the door. No answer, penalty to Ireland. What is the decision here, I wonder?
23.
It was Tommaso Benvenuti, the Bristol centre, who
23 blue, offside.
Committed the sin, offside. Ireland having to work incredibly hard to make any yards there. Great defence from Italy. Benvenuti just comes up offside, but some massive hits going in there from the Italians.
Thumped deep into the green-shirted faithful on the far side from Johnny Sexton, so it will be a line out to Ireland. And again, 2.5 minutes before half-time. I wonder if Italy will engage here again in defence, Allan.
O'Connell does really well the last time. He held the ball at the front of the line out there. Parisse came in to try and knock it, so they can't run around that time.
This time Italy quickly into their defensive shape, but Ireland again, look how tightly formed they are in this maul, and cries of heave and drive from the crowd. The Irish supporters in the crowd are willing them forward, and that close now. It's Rory Best in there, and the hooker lays it back now for Ireland. A little fumble from Conor Murray at the base, and slamming the ball to ground in frustration, and Italy will have the scrum, and a costly mistake from Conor Murray.
Yeah, great defence. You can see it here. I think it's an Italian leg that just hits it initially. He goes to pick it, takes his eye off the ball. But great pressure again from the Italians. They're really, really frustrating Ireland at that line out. You can see Josh Furno coming up through the middle of the line out there, looking at the referee, coming in from the side.
Yeah, I think they work with two players through the middle, 4 on 5.
They get a huge boost from that, the Italians. They're all slapping each other on the back, and great defence from them there.
The man down injured is Lorenzo Cittadini, who hoists his hefty frame back onto his feet. Jacques Brunel and Joe Schmidt, the respective coaches. A very thoughtful man, Joe Schmidt. He won't panic in a situation like this. He'll analyse, and he will see where Ireland can improve and where they can expose any Italian weaknesses. But Parisse again, he's not fully fit, there's no doubt about that. But again, just it's not just his presence, he's still everywhere on the pitch for Italy.
I think Joe Schmidt won't panic. He'll certainly be frustrated. Ireland haven't been as clinical, but that's, you got to give credit to Italy. They've just frustrated the life out of Ireland, but they will have expected this as well. It's something would have been spoken of before the game. that pressure that the Italians are putting on is immense.
Well, it's Italian ball, but it is that close to their own try line, so this has to be a stout Italian scrum to survive. And actually, Italy will be quite happy with this reset because it's eating away at the clock all the time. They just want to get into the dressing room and have a strong cup of tea.
More, one more, and you it's fine. More.
Or an espresso, perhaps.
Fine.
Be rather more fitting. A minute to go, so we're not quite in final passage of play territory. What is Italy's exit strategy here? The pitch cutting up. Ireland trying to put the squeeze on. Gori watching all the time. Attentions from Conor Murray, hurling his man out the way. Use it now, he says to Parisse. Parisse holding, looking for the penalty, and there it is. And well, that's a great boost for Italy ahead of half-time there in that scrum. And Aguero, man without club, who will snap him up now? He gets a few slaps in the back.
Another big boost from Italy there. Scrum is not really going anywhere. I think Cittadini stands up. Referees telling him to use it, but it comes from the pressure from Conor Murray. He pushes Gori, and that's where the penalty's from.
So Tommy Allan just needs to find a safe touch, and this will be the final passage of play from this line. We do have to have the line out though, so Ireland will be pouring everything into trying to pinch this, I think, because they have looked pretty robust at the line out, Ireland, and Italy just under a bit of pressure, as you might expect when you've got clever operators like O'Connell and Henderson and Nomani, Heaslip, well, right down the line. Well, it's a shortened line out. And Manici, just hearing the final call, the clock is red. Just need to secure this ball, but again it goes loose, so it'll be a chance then for Ireland. They will have the final passage of play. O'Brien lays it back for Murray. Wide it goes. Earls slips the high tackle. Keeper's almost away, but then the ball goes forward and out. And there will be no score to finish this first half for Ireland. So close. But the first half will end with a 4-point difference. Ireland leading 10-6. Oh, how close were they here, Allan?
Yeah, he nearly gets through. I think it's Venditti just grabs him by the ankles and just holds off. You can see what he's trying to do, but just doesn't execute it there. Comes from a turnover again, but very scrappy first half from Ireland. But Italy have made life very hard. They've had more possession. They've put so much pressure on Ireland. They've just stopped that flow and that clinical edge that we've come accustomed to seeing Ireland having.
Well, it's close at the Olympic Stadium. Just the one try in that first half from Keith Earls. Ireland lead 10-6 at half-time. Confirmation of the tail of the first half. A couple of penalties from Tommy Allan for Italy. One penalty from Johnny Sexton and a conversion of that Keith Earls try. The pool at the moment, France on 14 points. Ireland playing catch-up, a game in hand over France on 10 points. Italy on 4, Canada 1, Romania no points. So Italy, well, if they won this, they'd be right back in it. And worth just looking. There's glimpse in Jamie Heaslip wearing an ice bag on his head. Looks like an ice vest as well. This is the glimpse we like inside the changing room. Just partial nudity at the moment, so that's fine. An ice pack on the knee of Henshaw as well.
And his defence coach Les Kiss, who seems to be giving all the instructions. I think he'd be disappointed. They've been very passive in defence, Ireland, certainly in the wide channels.
And Sergio Parisse is the man giving all the instructions for Italy. He's a sort of de facto coach. He's the coach on the field, and actually off the field it seems as well. Jacques Grenell sits back a little bit more. It's just fascinating to get just a little glimpse inside the changing rooms at half-time. And Italy, I'm sure, still believe that they can win this match. Another match at the Olympic Stadium in London. A grand tour of all the venues around England. We have seen some great football stadiums. The Olympic Stadium, of course, saw such drama 3 years ago, and New Zealand had a handsome win over Namibia here, and today Ireland, the boot of Sexton and try from Keith Earls. This was the first penalty for Johnny Sexton. gave Ireland the lead, but Italy with plenty of possession and territory as well, and earning their own penalty, giving Tommy Allan a chance to draw level.
And this is the steal from O'Mahony, great pressure at the front, Italy moving forward and back, looking for Parisse there. Great pressure at the front of the line out. Henderson makes a big carry then through Cittadini. And this is just a lovely little switch play. Earls stays on the inside, he's involved early in that switch movement and just stays in the hunt, and that's what you got to do, and a really good try for Ireland. Come from an Italian mistake. Ireland haven't really threatened all game.
But again, Italy have threatened, and another penalty came their way, with Ireland not rolling away. And another successful penalty from Tommy Allan. It's just been pointed out to me that Italy have never won a World Cup match when they've been losing at half-time. So again, something that they have to overcome here today. History. Eduardo Gori with the tackle, and Dave Kearney.
Put the player on the ground, but it's just a penalty.
It was just a penalty, holding on to his legs, and but they were not punished on that occasion with Johnny Sexton not quite finding his mark that time, and it was Parisse, calf injury or not, getting there to clear. It's over 50,000 inside the Olympic Stadium, and they've watched an engrossing first half. I think a lot of them would have expected Ireland to be in a more comfortable position at half-time, but still all to play for.
Their energy levels have dropped. They need to find a way to get the ball and attack themselves. How deep is the Ireland squad? How many impact players are there on the bench just chomping at the bit, wanting to come on? The whole bench, the whole 31 members of this squad are good enough to be on that bench, and every single one of the bench are hoping to get their opportunity. You look at someone like Healy, we've seen him in front of us warming up, itching to get out of that pitch. Cronin is another player who makes a big impact when he comes on. Right across the whole team, like some Madigan, they're waiting and ready to go. I think that probably is the difference between the two sides. There's definitely a very strong bench there for Ireland that can probably make more of the impact should they call them. Like you can see that when they are firing, the attack led by Johnny Sexton is just a beautiful thing to watch. Sexton really is in control of this game at the moment. Been very impressive all the way through this World Cup. But the way he's commanding the 10th position and he's bringing the players around for that try for Earls is quite fantastic. Beautifully delayed switch pass back inside to Henshaw, who's also having a really strong game. Delayed pass, brilliantly timed, and then Earls in the exact right position at the right time to finish it off. I think we're going to see more of those types of plays, maybe more from the playbook of Josh Schmidt in the second half. Do you think these Irish fans have really found their voices yet? I think there's a little bit more left for them, definitely. They're all still here, a lot of them anyway. You don't want to drink too much at half-time because you just need a wee halfway through the second half. And do you want to change your prediction, by the way? No, my prediction stands as it is. I think we're going to see the second half. Ireland will probably have to feel their way into it for 10 or 15 minutes again, continue with that. But I imagine that a couple of impact substitutions from the bench might open up a little bit, and I'm hoping that we can pull away and get a little more drive in the second half. Richie, thank you. We'll see Richie again at time analysis. I tell you what, Frank, you just zoom in on
Welcome to Autumn Watch.
because I tell you what, you Irish fans are some of the best looking fans in the world.
There you are, the fans is reimpressed. Second half, another joy.
So just about ready once again for Ireland and Italy to do battle in there. A change at half-time for Italy. A replacement hooker, Davide Gazzon, the Treviso hooker, is on for Andrea Manici.
Can you hear me?
And there's an injury to Manici. And remember, we're down to third-choice hooker now for Italy, with Leonardo Giraldini injured. So Italy forced into a change, I suspect, or perhaps a tactical change. But it will be Ireland to get us underway again. And I wonder if we'll see a different Ireland in this second half. Although a very strong performance from Italy in that first half. But just 4 points the difference. A big 40 minutes in store here at the Olympic Stadium in Pool D. Ireland looking to move level or perhaps past France at the top. Italy looking to keep their World Cup hopes alive. Ireland looking for a place in the quarter-final.
Captain blue, Captain green.
So Sexton with the switch to start the second half. On a huge leap there from Campagnaro, the young centre took it down beautifully. Italy with early ball to play with, taken in by Simone Favaro.
Carry him back, stay.
And Luke McLean carried back into the 22, so no thoughts of going for touch. And then Zebo just ponders for a moment and then gives it to Tommy Bowe. He's taken down by Aguero. And a penalty to Italy is the first decision.
To the gate. First man on his feet to the gate.
Outstanding work again from Italy at the breakdown. Favaro there, assisted by Aguero at the breakdown. Brilliant work there, and a big boost Italy right after half-time. I think Campagnaro catching the kick-off. Great statement of intent from the Italians.
And that is a very good touch finder as well from Tommy Allan. And so Italy will have the line out. It's going to be an early test for the replacement hooker, Davide Gazzon.
Green.
A Treviso hooker. Treviso and Zebra, the Italian sides, the only two Italian sides in the top flight in Pro 12 rugby. The rest of the Italian players have joined an exodus and gone around the world, around Europe, applying their trade, and that was well salvaged there by Gazzon, the man on in the number 16 jersey. So Italy with the ball, but then penalty to Ireland.
It's the same clear release, clean out.
Holding on to the ball in the tackle,
here.
And Ireland will have a fairly leisurely chance to clear their lines.
Yeah, it's O'Connell this time. Brilliant work from him there. I think referee Jerome Garces asked his assistant referee there, was it a knock-on from Ireland? I think O'Mahony got his hand at the ball there, didn't allow Italy to win it clean. Was going to go back for the scrum. Let it play on, but see the ball here from O'Connell. Big man. Late reaction from the Italians there, and outstanding turnover from O'Connell.
I thought I had 52,187, very precise number, as Ireland carries over the halfway line through O'Brien, and Murray switches direction. Tommy Bowe picks a line but then hits a big wall. And Cittadini was there, and Furno, and now O'Mahony for Ireland does well. Stays on his feet for a moment longer. Gets an extra yard or two. Henderson. The young Ulster lock lays it back. Sexton. No-look pass to Heaslip. Back it comes over the head of diving O'Brien, and is that too long? No, it's beautifully placed, and it will be an Italian line-out, but deep in the heart of Italian country.
It's a good kick from Sexton. He has to just double check to get back and kick that ball. He sees that Venditti is flat up on the line, a really, really intelligent kick, but Ireland just not getting over that gain line. The Italians stopping him behind it.
Once again, Giazon has to try and hit his target. Furno there with the attentions of Omani, wrapping himself around a penalty. Yes, the decision comes from Jerome Garces. It wasn't there, it was close. Sometimes those ones are not given. Omani, the attention was just a little bit too close on Josh Furno.
I think it's a soft penalty. He doesn't have any effect on Furno winning the ball. He initially grabs him and it can be a penalty, but he backs off a little bit there, and Furno still had the ball clearly, and Omani didn't affect it in any way. But letter of the law, it's a penalty. You're not supposed to touch someone. You can see it here, and he actually goes with the outside hand, which is very, very risky. He needs to get his right hand through there.
Sergio Parisse just looking and barking away at the referee, and Jerome Garces had a long think about that and then decided, and there is Parisse, slaps it down to Gori and then Allan and then on to Favaro. And Italy settling in nicely to the second half, but then Henderson almost gets through on that one. Gori under huge pressure now, being lifted manfully by Ian Henderson towards his own try line. And Parisse takes it upon himself to clear his lines. Parisse, there is nothing he cannot do. He kicks and finds a very good. He looks so nonchalant about it as well.
Great work from Parisse there, but what about Henderson picking Gori up there? Initially in the block down, great pressure on Tommaso Allan. Gets off the line really, really well for a big man. And that's what Ireland have to do, is put pressure, turn the tables a little bit on the Italians. Great clearance from Parisse though.
Shouldn't be too surprised at that. He's a man who's scored 13 tries, Parisse, but also in his 114 caps has dropped a goal as well. That line-out works seamlessly for Ireland through Henderson, and now they come little switch inside from Henshaw to Kearney coming in off his wing, and then almost stolen there by Favaro, but it's still with Ireland, and Murray throws it behind to Sexton and then on to Omani in the blindside flank and up to the 22. O'Brien takes a big hit, but then he had weight coming in behind him from Ross. Loose pass, scooped up by Henshaw, and Robbie Henshaw builds up ahead of steam. Threw himself into the challenge there of Favaro. Ireland still with it, still making ground, now through Heaslip. And Murray to his captain, and O'Connell drives himself on. And again through Henderson. He's done a huge amount of carrying so far. Will this pressure tell? No, it's gone loose, and Furno, I thought he might give it there, and there are a few men over for Italy. Instead took it into the sanctuary of the close quarters exchanges, and McLean sends it long, big space back there. Sarto is galloping down on this one, but Zebo has a moment to himself and thinks about what to do, and then finds touch. After all that Irish attack, it'll end now in an Italian line-out on the halfway line.
Really good clearance from Zebo, covering back there, has the left leg to hook it around, but again a turnover from Ireland when they're getting a bit of momentum going forward. Omani quite prominent there, making a couple of carries, but Murray just looking for the inside pass, and it's that man Parisse there hanging around the fringe, gets a hand in there and turns the ball over.
So Giazon on at half-time and a hooker for Manici. That's what he sees. And sees O'Connell leaping up to slap that back with a big paw. And Ireland still another line out and get a chance to attack again, and it was Henshaw giving it on to Earls, and then the little spill as Kearney tried to take it, and Gori just slips away from his shackles, and Gori almost through now, finds support from Favaro. Good hands from Italy to Aguero, and once again through Minto Italy come. The game is opening up, and now Parisse has got Furno alongside, looking to left and right for the support runners. Then it's Sarto, and the winger lays it back now. Italy making great ground. Aguero juggles, then just feeds it back in industrial fashion to McLean. And Italy linking well, supporting well. Options down the right from Luke McLean, taken down by Dave Kearney. To the outskirts of the 22 they come now. Long pass out to Parisse once again. Parisse galloping forward, finds Sarto and Furno, and tackle from O'Mahony. They will look at it, but I'm sure.
Touch line before he puts the ball down. So for me,
He turned himself, Furno. It looked as if, for all the world, he was going to score
Try
there.
yes or no.
Well, whenever you want to...
Okay, try yes or no.
If you ever
Okay.
needed a winger out on the touchline, but we see Furno going, ball on the outside and the inside hand, needs to have it on the outside.
It's a great covering tackle from O'Mahony, but Furno, in terms of finishing in the corner, did everything wrong there.
Yeah, it's got to be in the left arm there, left shoulder, fend with the right, slide, get much lower. You think it's a try definitely, but his feet are in touch. You can see the right boot there is clearly in touch. O'Mahony does really, really well to hang on, but very, very scary moment for Ireland.
Wingers around the world shaking their heads at that one.
Jerome?
The TMO,
Yep,
is Graham
he's
Hughes.
in touch. First line out to Green.
No try.
Well, they built that opportunity so well, Italy, and it doesn't end in a score for them. Again, it's encouraging signs, but a try there, and Italy would have led, but it's still pressure on the Irish line-out. It's a reminder of what they're playing for here. Ireland trying to qualify for the quarterfinals. Win here would guarantee that, and then it would be who they would play in the quarterfinals with a big decider against France next weekend. But Italy could throw things wide open again in Pool D with a victory here. And taken down, and Parisse hands off says no one is guilty there. Heaslip and Ireland trying just to
Behind.
muscle their way away from their own line.
Behind.
Just by a few more yards for the clearing kick. We'll go through a couple of phases with the forwards first of all. Murray might clear it himself here, which he does. Scrum half sends it long, and it's a good-looking clearing kick as well. And Sarto just waiting. The winger takes it down, and Ireland, the pressure eases just for a moment.
Yeah, very risky stuff from Ireland, though. They're hanging on. Not a clean line out there from O'Mahony, and Murray looking to get his forwards in field, which is very, very risky because the Italians are loving this. They're loving putting on this pressure on Ireland.
Well, if Italy were to win, they only play Romania in their remaining game. You'd expect them to win that. Ireland, of course, have France. So it's not that Ireland are playing for the World Cup lives here, but it's they would have to beat France, and that is a tall order, obviously. Held at the back there by Favaro, penalty advantage to Italy. The penalty is there for them, but they are wandering happily towards the Irish 22. So a cross-field kick, it's a chance to nothing, and for Venditti, the winger takes it, but into touch he goes. They'll come back for that penalty now. They knew it was there for them as security, as a safety net, and this might now just be a pop-it goal.
Great maul again from the Italians there. They delayed it, a couple of dummy jumps there, and O'Mahony goes up really early. Furno wins a clean line out, and they just march Ireland backwards. Good cover from Zebo and Venditti there. It's the time you can switch off with that crossfield kick. He does really well. You can see Ireland breaking up here and you know, moving forward. Great composure. It's Rory Best coming in from the side there.
Yes, Best put his hand up, but he knew it was a sort of mea culpa hand up there.
I'm repeating myself again, but I don't think that was a penalty. He had no effect in the ball. He was getting back around again, but you're always risking it when you come in at that side, but the damage was done with them all, and when you're going forward like that, you know, they've been really, really impressive, the Italian forwards, all day.
Well, he's landed 2 from 2, as you can see. Tommy Allan. And a chance to draw Italy within 1 point here. So close to a try just a few moments ago through Furno. If they can't have that, they'll gratefully take a penalty. Once again, Tommaso Allan successful with the boot, and Italy are still very much in the hunt in this game, and it is their supporters. They are far outnumbered, but they are the supporters making the noise at the moment inside the Olympic Stadium. It's a 1 point game.
1 point game, and Ireland look very, very nervy. I think Joe Schmidt will be feeling a bit of pressure. I think it's time for changes for Ireland. It's just not happening. They're in a risky situation now. 51 minutes gone. They've got to make some changes, freshen it up.
The Irish crowd responds, tries to lift the men in green, and from the restart they have it through Best. Restart's so important, and it goes the way of Ireland, and O'Mahony carries it in. Conor Murray finds Sexton, who finds in turn O'Brien. He's so powerful.
Stay here then!
And Henderson just barges into Geldenhuys.
Play out with the feet!
And Murray almost threw himself, and Rory Best in close attendance. O'Connell. And now listen to the noise inside this wonderful stadium. It is Irish noise, but Parisse silences them. And Italy with it again, but flung so deep from McLean to Allan. And Tommy Bowe has a chance to see what's on. And then the winger sends it high, chases it down himself, and leaps. Cannot quite take it. Gori, though, little knock forward, and it will be an Irish scrum.
Yeah, he's unlucky there, Gori. Good kick from Tommy Bowe. Very good in the air, but absolutely incredible work from Sarto at the breakdown there. When O'Mahony, big tackle, gets back on his feet, clears out the Irish cover. Parisse straight through in the ball. Very worrying times for Ireland. Italy winning all those collisions at the tackle area and at the breakdown.
The only thing that's really gone wrong for Italy, they've lost 4 lineouts. They haven't profited in that part of the game at all. I see Keane Healy is warming up, and also Nathan White, so they're looking to make 2 prop changes, Ireland. So this will be the last scrum for McGrath and for Mike Ross.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Down she goes, but we'll just scrum again. Just a reminder that Italy have only won 3 of the last 22 test matches. There is Healy waiting to come on. That is how wretched their form has been over the last couple of seasons. But then you go back to 2013, we talked about it. They did beat France in the Six Nations, and they beat Ireland. Nathan White, another man about to come on.
Okay.
Yeah, Parisse is used to winning with Stade Francais in his club, and he just has that great belief, unbelievable talent, and he's given this Italian team a huge lift today.
The feed by Murray, and the drive on from the Italian scrum there, but Heaslip had picked up and detached and taken it on anyway through Murray and Sexton onto Zebo, and Zebo almost skipping around Campagnaro, but Sarto and the young centre Campagnaro took him down. O'Mahony, good powerful run from O'Mahony and Murray. A little forward pass, no fine, says the referee. And a penalty advantage coming for Ireland. So again, a bit of a free attack, and Sexton gives it on to Kearney, pirouetting his way through the blue shirts. And Dave Kearney, again, just outside the 22. Ireland still with that advantage. O'Connell gives it on to O'Brien. And Murray to Heaslip. No. Still a penalty coming for Ireland. Zebo to Best. I wonder if they might try the crossfield kick option, knowing the penalty is there.
Advantage again, eh?
Another advantage, and O'Brien. Nobody lurking out in the wing for the high ball for Ireland. Henderson just checks himself before that challenge. Still advantage. You can see the arm outstretched from Garcia, and Rory Best just decides against the pass, but then sets off at a counter himself. And Ireland are making ground. O'Mahony carries it into the danger zone for Italy. O'Connell. They want far more than a penalty here, Ireland. They still have that penalty advantage. Yeah. So Sexton sends it high and down on the wing. Coming in is Kearney looking for this. Henshaw there as well, but it comes forward off Italian hands. They'll come all the way back for that penalty. And I wonder what the Ireland option will be here. Surely it has to be a pop at goal.
Yeah, they have to take their points. Better from Ireland, more direct, making some ground around the fringes. Some pick and goes there, and I think the Italians have fanned out really well. They've identified the breakdown, went to attack. One-on-one tackles, and Cittadini here just puts the hand in there. I think there's a couple of penalties coming there for offside, and you know, you can see all the blue shirts on their feet. They're staying on their feet really well today. They've identified that. They're not burning 3-4 guys at a breakdown, and that's why Ireland are not really making inroads from the 12-13 channel out towards the wing.
Henshaw wasn't a million miles away from getting that high ball, but those changes for Ireland are going to come on after this kick of Nathan White and Cian Healy coming on the front row for McGrath and Ross, so 2 prop changes. But Sexton before that. Precious few points in the second half, just that 1 penalty from Tommaso Allan. And Sexton to restore the 4-point lead that we had at the break. From near silence to the Irish roars and applause inside the Olympic Stadium, because they lead by 4 points again, 4 precious points. Nearly midway through this second half, and here come the changes now. Nathan White, the Australian-born prop, lumbers onto the field, and Cian Healy there comes on. So Healy on for McGrath and Nathan White on for Mike Ross. We'll see what changes, what effect those changes will have. Great take by O'Connell at full stretch, back arched.
Inside. Back, 1.
And so Ireland with ball from the restart, and Murray sends up the box kick, and chasing this one down is Tommy Bowe. Parisse is there, but Tommy Bowe takes it. Irish players so often so good under the high ball, and then the quick kick off the back from Conor Murray. Kept in play by Gori. I'm not sure any of his teammates were ready for that one from Conor Murray, and that kick there just bounces the wrong side and then goes long, so all the way back they come. No mistake there from Gori, and Ireland will have the ball deep in the Italian half. Who would be a coach?
Well, Conor Murray would be very relieved after that. Really poor decision there. No winger chasing it. Gori covers back really well. What a take from Tommy Bowe in the air. Brilliant take from Murray's box kick initially. Poor decision. All the Italian backs and team were disjointed there. It should have been moved straight away, and Murray goes for that kick in behind, and he'll be pretty relieved that Gori kicked that too long.
It'll be an interesting scrum here as well with those 2 prop changes for Ireland. How will it affect things? I think things have been fairly even between the 2 packs. Parisse wanting a long lingering chat with referee Jerome Garcia and touch judge, assistant referee I should say.
Just questioning where the kick was made from Gori, and got back a few yards, but what a captain, what a leader, Parisse.
We'll see a possession in the second half, 69-31 in Ireland's favour. A hook from the hooker, which is what they're supposed to do. Some don't in the modern game, but safe, solid ball for Ireland, and taken in there by Keith Earls. Conor Murray complains loudly, and his complaints are heard by Jerome Garcia's penalty. And a plaintive face from Tommy Allan.
Not the best carry in the world from Keith Earls, but Tommaso Allan and Venditti tried to wrap him up. Just doesn't get out of the way. He checks back inside, and you can see Allan there where he falls in. Heaslip does really well to get in there in the support line. Sean O'Brien as well, and you know, he could place the ball back up, so I think it's a harsh enough one. He just can't get out of there. But another opportunity for Ireland to stretch their lead and give him a little bit of comfort.
There's a soothing, calming hand upon him from Sergio Parisse to Tommy Allan. Looked a bit distraught under the post, but he has given Ireland this opportunity, given this chance to his opposite number, Johnny Sexton, who will go through his slow and steady, measured routine. Looks fondly towards the posts. And sends the ball in their direction, straight through it goes, and Johnny Sexton, suddenly Ireland have a 7-point lead, and just a couple of mistakes by Italy, costly. And Italy now make changes. on. They're making changes in the front row as well. You've got Michele Rizzo there, you saw him, and he's on for Aguero. Aguero's had quite a good game as well. But Dario Cittadini prop is on as well. So they have changed their props. And we're all freshened up in the prop department in this game. Rizzo on for Aguero and Cittadini on for Cittadini. And the kick from Sexton is not the best, but it works well thanks to good work by Tommy Bowe, but it eventually only goes to Italian hands, and Gori now feeds it on to Favaro. And there is Parisse once again. Campagnaro. And it goes to Zebo. And Zebo almost gets away from Venditti, the big winger. And Ireland are looking just a little bit more settled now. They still have to dig themselves away from their own 22 here. O'Connell. And over the top it goes from Conor Murray. Coming forward is Luke McLean. Takes it down well. Experienced fullback. And he played age group rugby for Australia. Parisse once more. He's everywhere. Little chip. Didn't go well at all. He'll say he meant it. And Rory Best takes it down anyway. A dive pass from O'Connell. Old school. Tommy Bowe. Fancies himself as a scrum half, Paul O'Connell. And the real deal, Conor Murray gives it to Sean O'Brien. And again, that good strength, not a standing start. Makes another few metres. Stripped by Italy and by their replacement hooker Giazon, and gives it on to Geldenhuys, the South African-born lock forward. Gori now on to Favaro. Italy desperate not to lose contact here with Ireland. 7 points adrift at the moment, and McLean does his bit. That's fine, says the referee. There's Tommy Allan, feeds back inside to Josh Furno. Henderson sticking a big foot in there as it's carried in by the winger Venditti. And Gori, and Italy making good ground again. Once more it's Giazon, a Treviso hooker. Still there for Italy, for Gori. Little look, and gives it infield to McLean. Henderson trying to hold them up. They're desperately trying to use that choke tackle. And Ireland do there get the scrum. McLean couldn't get to ground quickly enough or cleanly enough. And that's sort of Les Kiss special. You're talking about him giving instructions at half-time, but that's really become an Irish speciality in recent years.
Yeah, and Henderson is very, very good at that. McLean is a little bit unlucky that he meets the frame and size of someone like Ian Henderson around the side of the ruck there. All started with him, great break. Giazon makes a great turner over at the breakdown, and again, frustration from Ireland, but credit to Italy.
That's Carlo Canna at the front in the scrum cap, and Alessandro Zani behind him, so that is a standoff and a flanker. So Zani's coming on for Parisse. 64 minutes and counting is all he could manage with his injury, but what a presence he's been on the field for Italy here. Zani, get out the way, he says to his own technical staff. And Tommy Allan is off, and his face is tripping him as Carlo Canna comes on to replace him for his 6th cap. Tommy Allan certainly played his part, but he'll feel that he's just cost Italy a couple of times, but he's scored the points for them.
Yeah, he looks a little bit frustrated coming off, disappointed. He's been good today, really good today.
So Ireland with that 7-point advantage, but a good few changes now, and Italy without Parisse, and the players must shrink a little bit when they don't feel his presence alongside them. The carry and go there from Heaslip for Ireland. Towards the final 15 minutes in this match. And only a converted try between the two sides. Do Italy have that in them though? Deep it goes from Murray to Sexton. Sends it up towards the floodlights and down. McLean waiting for this one, takes it comfortably. Zebo claims him. And good work by Venditti, and Campagnaro on to the replacement, Alessandro Zani. A very experienced flanker, Zani. I wonder when we'll see Mauro Bergamasco come on. The carry there by Francesco Minto, and a penalty advantage to Italy. Gori tries to sneak through, so as that one is grabbed at by Irish hands. They will have that penalty.
Yeah, O'Brien not rolling away there. It's a clear penalty. Great offloads as well. It's Minto's carry here, Sean O'Brien.
You move on the one side.
Delays it for that second or two there, and it's a penalty, and it gives Italy a chance to claw it back a little bit.
Well, it'll be Carlo Canna, fresh on the field, who's going to have a pop here. He only came into the squad in July when Kelly Haimona, the New Zealand-born fly half, was injured. He'd been a feature for Italy over the past couple of seasons, Haimona. But Canna, a 23-year-old, just in the early stages of his international career.
Showing a bit of experience there. He stole a yard. Paul O'Connell was remonstrating with Garcia.
Sneaky. All the kickers do it when they can. And Canna now, just about his first touch of the ball. Doesn't look the prettiest kick. You'd see it spiralling. I think he got it too deep on the ball. And so a chance missed there for Italy. And they really have to keep gathering in the points. So I can see Mauro Bergamasco's waiting in the wings. He'll like to hurl himself around here, and they're going to have that change now. Mauro Bergamasco, 36-year-old. Just as he's going to come on now. Ireland looking to make a couple of changes. There he is, shaking out those shaggy curls, getting ready for some feistiness. He likes to hurl himself around, even at the age of 36. You'll have played against him a few times.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's 5th World Cup. He equals Brian Lima's record. What an unbelievable record. To play and experience 5 World Cups. Unbelievable from Bergamasco.
So he is on for Simone Favaro, and Ireland making the changes as well. Coming on for them, Chris Henry, see the back rower from Ulster, and also coming on as Devin Toner for that man, Ian Henderson. So Ian Henderson, I think, has played very well today, and applause for the crowd, but he might as well applaud himself. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been one of the few Irish forwards who's been really, really good. Made a lot of carries and a huge number of tackles.
So just a glimpse of Devin Toner there as it's taken in by Zani and given on to Canna. And Carlo Canna sends it very high indeed. Sexton waits and then takes the attention of McLean. There's Bergamasco. And Rory Best lays it back, and Murray flings it deep to Sexton. He was under big pressure there. Did well to get that kick away, and Gori shrugs off the attention of Earls. Did well, Gori, and gives it on to Sarto. Sarto tries to ease his way around Peter O'Mahony. No easy task, and O'Mahony and Conor Murray do their bit. There's still nervous times for Ireland as they have that 7-point lead, but heading towards 12 minutes to go is not where you'd want to be.
No, tactically they've been very, very poor, out of shape, out of line there from that kick. Putting the ball up in the air, they've got to try and play a phase or two, be a bit more direct and play the ball in the right areas. I think they're just giving Italy a chance to come straight back at them. They're just playing into the Italians' hands, and if you look at all the breakdowns, Italy putting one guy in, sometimes no one in, so you have 15 blue jerseys on their feet all the time, and suddenly they make an impact tackle, and they're just in really quickly to try and get the turnover then, and they've done it so effectively all day.
So Mane is fine now. Just a reminder again, Ireland play France a week today in the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. And will that match be to simply decide in what order they go through, or will it be for Ireland to keep things alive? But here they are still leading, they're still just about in control here. Devin Toner, the tall figure there, reversing at the front of that driving maul, and Murray sends it high, and out she goes. An Italian line out to come. And again, the Italian line out doesn't fill the Azzurri fans with confidence, because they haven't done too well at their own line out so far. There we are. They won 8, lost 4 though, so I say lost 4, but Ireland have really worked hard to steal them.
Yeah, but the maul, Ireland's maul, has been very disappointing. Really, really poor return again from clean ball there. Putting the ball up in the air, and Tommy Bowe gets tackled into touch.
Well, did well, Italy, to get that over the enormous figure of Devin Toner, 6'10" of him. And then just being held at the back there by Davide Ghiazzon, the replacement hooker. Did they become detached?
You move them all with 3 players in front.
So Ireland have the scrum there, the ball
You
not
move them
working
all
there
on
for
the
Italy.
left, 3 players in front.
It's interesting though watching Parisse come off after 65 minutes, because if he was fully fit he would play the whole 80, and again, and not perhaps reading too much into it, that you can see the Italian players just sag a little bit when he comes off, because he is such an inspirational figure.
He is, but a great player in Zani to come on, a really experienced guy who got injured against Ireland, the Six Nations. Great substitute come on, but you know, if Parisse is fit, he plays the whole game, but he's inspired this Italian team today, and it looks like there's no let up, even though they're 7 points behind. This game is still in the balance.
You see the heart of the Irish front row there. Sean Cronin is on for Rory Best. Cronin has scored a try against Canada and Cardiff in Ireland's first game.
Stay like this.
Not much give there. Side Ireland though looking a little bit more robust now and getting the drive on. They might have the penalty. No. Scrum again. We will just scrum again, says Jerome Garces.
The scrum is like this.
I tell you, that's infuriating for Ireland.
50-50.
You know, the referee, and he's trying to tell the both teams all day how to use the ball in a scrum, how to scrummage. You know, Ireland moving forward there, Italians peeling around, and let's go for another scrum. It's mind-baffling to say the least.
I'm rather intrigued by the floodlights, only some of which are coming on. Anyway, they're plenty bright enough. Grand setting here. 10 minutes to go inside the Olympic Stadium to give it its proper title, the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park Stadium. And Murray, little pop over the top for Tommy Bowe, is herring down there in the wing, can't quite get there. Into touch it goes, but Ireland happy enough with that. It's Italian ball, but it's inside their own 22.
You scored good on scrum on your side.
Yeah, Blue came down.
Scrum collapses there. It's a good idea. Bowe's look sharp. Any ball he's chased today, and again the ball just goes out. Murray would have liked that to stay in field for one of the Italians to take it in.
Number 6, calm down.
So there the position in the field. It's Italy's ball, and they try a short, safe run. It's anything but, and under huge pressure now, but the ball's still alive there, not quite in touch. That's what Ireland wanted. It's Italian ball, but only 8-9 metres from their own line. Italy under real pressure. Ireland trying to kill off this game here. Just north of 8 minutes to go, and Gori, the scrum half, clears himself, but again, hardly any angle to play with. It'll be Ireland's line out just outside the 22. You see the man down injured for Italy is Rizzo, the Leicester prop. You see how hard Italy have been having to work in this second half there. 64 tackles to 25.
Brilliant work rate. They've been really clinical and just full of energy, full of guts and bravery around the breakdown.
Sorry?
They're cover tackling.
So we're going to check something on
TMO.
TMO.
Check.
Oh no, Omani might be in a bit of bother there. Well, I'm going to see if Furno complaining. Yeah, he will be penalised for that.
Yeah, you've got to use your arm. Furno straight away looking to the touch judge.
It's clearing out is what it's called, but you've got to clear out and use your arms.
Okay, it's clear for me. Charge with the shoulder, around the head and the neck.
Yeah.
It's clear, a yellow card.
6.
That's a yellow card, more than just a penalty for Peter Omani. Now this is very interesting, a 7-point lead.
Yeah. I must protect the player. You charge with the shoulder. Here, on the neck, the head. It's a yellow card.
Despite all the pleading of Peter Omani, he is off. He will finish this match in the bin. 8 minutes to go, 7 points to lead.
On the neck.
Ireland down to 14 men, and missing an influential man as well. A blindside flanker is someone to lose there. That's a big loss. You see Rizzo is looking a bit worse for wear. But there's an opportunity here for Italy. My goodness, they're in their own 22, but it's their penalty and they have the man advantage.
It's not going to be easy for Ireland the next 8 minutes with Omani off down to 14 men. That makes the job harder. clearly it was, was leading with the shoulder and was a yellow card. So from an Irish point of view, they'll be hoping it won't be costly for them.
You see Matthias Aguero on for Rizzo. He's had to come back on the field, the prop. Now, can Italy make this man advantage pay? Furno takes it down at the line out. Can they close that gap, that 7-point lead, with a man advantage? Ireland are going to have to play clever rugby here, and they have the ball at least. They have the scrum. But these are nervous moments for Joe Schmidt and for Ireland. Ireland fans everywhere.
You move with
their plans will be completely derailed if they were to draw or lose this game. So very, very nervous. The crowd have gone quiet. A little bit naive from Italy there. You can see the Irish fans, they're pretty quiet. I think they're all in a bit of shock because everyone expected this game to be, a foregone conclusion for Ireland and for them to be really clinical and build on the performances. But it just hasn't happened today, and credit to Italy for that.
There's Ireland's ball. 6.5 minutes to go. 7 points in it. And Peter Romani off the field. This has not gone entirely according to plan, and Italy will try and put the squeeze on here with that man advantage, and they have that penalty now, and the nerves grow ever more frayed for Ireland because Italy can send Ireland deep into their own half here. And O'Brien and Best watch on, and that was not inevitable, but it was always the danger, the scrum disintegrating under the pressure of the extra man. Huge pressure from Italy there, and I think Ireland just got to get the ball out there. They have Tommy Bowe on the side of the scrum on Nathan White, and Aguero coming back on. He's been very, very impressive, very strong today. Well, a reminder of how things stand. If Ireland were to lose this, they would have to beat France next week just to have a chance of qualifying. Italy, they've got a match against Romania to come, which is almost a given victory. And can they take advantage here? They can't. It's a long and risky and wrong throw to the back, and it goes over the head of Furno, and Ireland are spared there, and Murray sends it high. Italy with the man advantage, but failing to take the advantage, and Ireland have the ball inside the Italian half. O'Connell. This will have to be a huge 5 minutes from O'Connell and all his remaining 14 men. Sexton sends it high. Eventually just grasped in by Benvenuti. What a mistake at the line out, and the line out really has cost Italy in this game. Little chip and chase from Campagnaro, doesn't quite bounce for him. Heaslip seizes it gratefully. Taken in by Cronin, replacing Hooker. Little poke forward from Sexton, directed well, and keeps Italy pegged back and just eating up the clock all the time. That's what Ireland are doing now, giving Italy no chance to get back into it. Really intelligent kick from Sexton, and these kicks have worked really well today over the wingers' heads. He's got the bounce. The box kicks haven't worked. Ireland have turned the ball over each time, bar one, I think, where Tommy Bowe clearly won it, but much better. Still nervy stuff from Ireland. Now change being made. The Italian number 21, Guglielmo Palazzani, a scrum half coming on, so he'll come on for Gori. And also Luke Fitzgerald, you see, coming on for Ireland. And he is coming on for Keith Earls in the centre. Keith Earls, try scorer in the first half. The only try of this game. How close Josh Furno came for Italy, and how costly that might prove to be. Italy playing for their World Cup lives, their only hope here to beat Ireland. Furno takes it down for them. Can they find the length of the field here in the final 4 minutes or so? Held at the back by Bergamasco and the replacement scrum half. Palazzani sends it long towards Dave Kearney and Zebo. And Zebo now finds plenty of height, not too much distance. And it went forward off Italian hands, so Sexton kicks it long, and how good is the kick from Sexton? Where does it bounce? It bounces a little bit too long, just the wrong side of the post of the flag, and McLean comes back for the 22 restart. But time is against Italy as much as the 15 men in green shirts across from them. Canna. The Zebri standoff, and nails being chewed in both coaching boxes by Jacques Brunel for Italy and Joe Schmidt, taken down nicely by the giant Devon Toner. And as long as Ireland have possession, they have the victory in the bag. Carried in by Chris Henry, the Ulster flanker.
Play on!
A little knock on from O'Connell, and it's Italy's ball. They have it anyway.
Advantage blue.
Here, advantage blue as they attack. And carried in by Campagnaro, good hands, and he gets it away just. No, he cannot quite find his man. And Zebo comes away with it. 3 minutes to go, and Zebo hurling himself onto Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald to the halfway line. Still attacking with 14 men. Ireland a man down, but 7 points up. And O'Connell cannot quite run out the clock now from 2.5 minutes. Murray kicks it towards McLean. The chase not quite quick enough from Tommy Bowe, and then the mistake.
The obstruction.
Well, the Italian player obstructing Tommy Bowe as a big decision from Jerome Garcia, because that is a game decider. It's a penalty to Ireland.
Yeah, it's very, very clear and obvious. Palazzani comes across just a small little bit of a touch, but he comes across him there, and I mean, clearly there's not a lot of contact.
But Allan, he's watching him all the way, and one of the silliest things you'll see on a rugby pitch there. In this situation, with Italy a man up,
it's clearly different.
Having the chance, he watches all the way.
He tackled the player,
and he's given away this match.
And the number 9 Green put the ball on him.
Yeah,
you think it's
well, let's scrum then.
You think it's fair?
Let's scrum then.
You think it's fair?
Yes, he has to roll
no,
away.
It's not fair.
Yes, that's not.
No.
Well, that's not going to affect the decision here. What they're talking about, Conor Murray O'Connell was getting the explanation.
Yeah, there was an Italian player who didn't roll away, and when Murray went to pick the ball, he's kind of getting up off the ground. Murray touches the ball off him, and he says play on. O'Connell knocks it on then because of that delay. So that's what the argument is over. Could have been risky for Ireland because they turned it over, and Venditti made that break.
You see 4 from 5 from Sexton. He's allowed a minute to take the kick, all told, and he will take every single second of it. There may well be time for one passage of play after this, but this is to move beyond the converted score. This is to win this match from Johnny Sexton. This for a place guaranteed in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. No, so there will be a last chance for Italy here. One final desperate fling of the dice. McLean comes forward, seconds remaining. And they have plenty of men over here. Irish defence scrabbling across as Furno comes away with it. But for Italy, this has to be perfect. From deep inside their own 22, they will come. Can they draw this game with a converted try? The clock goes red, and Ireland try and get the blue shirts towards touch, and it's lost, and Heaslip has it, and Ireland have this game now. Murray gives it short to Cronin. Murray looks. Ireland don't just want the win, they want to finish in style. They may kick it out soon. Murray gives it wide, and Sexton says enough is enough. We will take our place in the quarterfinals. We will see what France have to offer next weekend to decide first and second place. But the victory in the end goes to Ireland. But what a game, what an effort. And Italy pushed them so close.
Yeah, they pushed them all the way, and credit to them. They've been outstanding today, the Italians. So much energy, so much passion, huge work rate. Ireland struggled, they weren't clinical, particularly in that second half. They were just frustrated into submission by the Italians. A lot of mistakes, loose kicks, and a few missed tackles, and you go back to the Furno possible try and you think how crucial that could have been. So Ireland will be mightily relieved, and they've obviously, you know, mentally been a little bit affected by that huge game that's coming up next week, and I think they'll be pretty relieved to get away and win the game in the end.
Far closer than Ireland would have liked, far closer than many people expected, but Italy really lifted themselves. They have not played too well at this World Cup, if we're honest about it. They lost heavily to France and then they beat Canada only narrowly, but here they have given Ireland a huge fright and so nearly extended their own hopes. But it is Ireland who will go through to the quarterfinals. That much is guaranteed. What has to be decided is whether it will be Ireland or France, first or second in this pool, because that is to avoid the All Blacks in the quarterfinal to play Argentina instead, which is not a huge drop-off. Argentina played so well. We'll perhaps talk about that in a moment, and we'll be hearing from some of the key figures here. Ireland are through to the quarterfinals, and Italy, what an effort, what a fright they have given them. But it is Ireland who win. It is Ireland who win by 16 points to 9. And the opportunity that Italy had in the closing stages there with the sin binning of Peter Romani, and Romani will have been breathing a huge sigh of relief towards the end there that he didn't quite cost his side. So Ireland move on. They play France a week today in the Millennium Stadium, and again the winner of this pool will play Argentina almost certainly. But here Ireland have beaten Italy 16 points to 9, despite the efforts of Italy and of their captain Sergio Parisse, who we can hear from now.
Sergio, this was your best performance of the tournament so far, but ultimately missed out on the quarterfinals.
Yeah, of course, definitely still a defeat, but it's a great Irish team today. They basically kick in all the second half and don't take too many risks. And, you know, we have the opportunity to score in the second half and probably, you know, the result changed. But, you know, compliment, they put us under pressure all the time, especially with the kick in a tactical game. So, you know, very good luck to the Irish, and we're going to see another match against Romania. We're going to try to work well in the week and win in the last match.
Of course, the last match is very important because third place playoff, automatic qualification for the next World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. Now we must try to focus in Romania and trying to, you know, have a good week and winning this match.
And your injury, you're okay?
Yeah, definitely. No fit. Not very fit, but it's okay. 60 minutes was good enough, and you know, trying to do all my best as everybody.
Well, commiserations and good luck for the next game.
Thank you.
Sergio Parisse talking to Ollie Cox, and they're stressing, yes, that still third place to play for, because third place in a pool guarantees you automatic qualification for the next World Cup taking place in Japan in 4 years' time. But both sets of players, after applauding each other off the pitch, then they come back on to say their thanks to the supporters who have come to the Olympic Stadium. But that was hard for Ireland, no doubt about that, far harder than they might have expected. O'Connell at the beating heart of it, the captain. Let's hear from him now.
Paulie, that was always going to be a tough one, but you got yourselves into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we're into the quarterfinals, and that's the bonus, I suppose it was. We always saw it as a knockout game, so that's great for us. Probably a disappointing performance, very inaccurate. You know, I think we just put too many balls down, and when we do that, we can't play our game, and it just interrupted any rhythm we got into in the game and gave them a lot of momentum. I think you can't turn over ball to them. Guys like Gori, Parisse, McLean, they're all excellent players. When you hand them ball on a plate like that, they'll do damage to you, and they nearly did. And it was only for a great try-saving tackle by Peter Romani kept us in the game.
Sets up, though, a big game against France. It was always going to be big, but this is the decider, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's going to be a massive game, and they're playing some very good rugby at the moment. You know, we're going to have to improve massively from that performance.
The crowd here, it was exceptional, wasn't it?
Yeah, the crowd were amazing. I wish we'd put on a better performance for them. They've been brilliant for the last 2 games. We were disappointing today. We didn't probably match them, and hopefully we can do that next week.
Best of luck against France.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
And well worth stressing again, as Paul O'Connell did there, that Peter Romani, his sin-binning didn't cost Ireland in the end, but his try-saving tackle in Furno may well have saved them, and that was what a covering tackle it was. But Ireland are through to the quarterfinals, and again we remind you they play France at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff a week today. Italy with the third place to play for, and they will go on and they will surely beat Romania. And again, some encouragement for them going forward, that they have produced a little bit more of a respectable performance here against Ireland, perhaps even more than that. Let's hear from the Italian coach now, Jacques Brunel, with his translator.
Jacques, commiserations, a very good performance. You must be very proud of your team, but ultimately you missed out on the quarterfinals.
Devi essere molto orgoglioso della tua squadra, però alla fine non andate ai quarti di finale.
Sì, è vero che penso che abbiamo giocato al livello dell'Irlanda, che siamo vicino, che ci siamo creati di situazioni per almeno pareggiare e sino vincere la partita. Abbiamo avuto veramente un bel atteggiamento oggi.
Yes, we showed a very good, approach to the game today. I'm proud of the team. We created a lot of good rugby. Unfortunately, we weren't being cynical enough to be effective, and probably a draw would have been the right result.
You've got the next game up, a chance to take third place and secure yourself for the automatic World Cup next time.
Adesso c'è la possibilità di chiudere comunque al terzo posto nel girone e qualificarsi per Giappone 2019.
Sarà la prossima sfida che abbiamo, ma sì, abbiamo la capacità di mantenere questo spirito, questa volontà, questo atteggiamento. Penso che non sarà facile contro la Romania, ma vorrei che finiamo il girone di questa maniera.
I'm confident that if we are keeping the same approach we showed today, I don't want to say it will be easy, but certainly I am confident we will perform well against Romania and we'll get the first place in the pool, advancing to Japan 2019.
Commiserations, but thank you very much. All the best.
Jacques Brunel, the Italian coach, speaking, a Frenchman speaking Italian through the translator. There we go, thoughts of Jacques Brunel, and frustrated at the defeats, but again he's seen some signs of encouragement. And there was plenty of life in this Italian side today, no doubt about that. And Gori was at much of the heart of it. A lot of good players today, and good interlinking, in particular this passage of play. Good hands, and Parisse again appearing, but this was Italy playing far better rugby than we've seen in recent performances. And again, that is what they will take from this.
Fantastic again from Italy, and Parisse, out the outside channels, they were very ambitious the way they played the game, looking for width all the time, looking for numbers, and here's a try-saving tackle. Healy does exceptionally well there, but I think Furno will be disappointed when he looks back in that.
Yes, Furno, as Allan was saying, ball in the wrong hand, the inside hand, but still it had to be a great covering tackle from Mani. But at this point here, you thought Furno's in. It's great work in the... I saw Rob Kearney do it so often for Ireland, but that time it was Tommy Bowe getting the better of Parisse. And this, what a take of the restart from Paul O'Connell.
Check.
How do you see the game progressing for them?
Well, coming into this game, there was quite a lot of criticism about how the Italians have played so far in this World Cup, that maybe they didn't account for themselves as well as they can. They're a quality nation, they've got a good history behind them, they've a long time in the Six Nations Championship at this stage, and I think their performance in the World Cup had been up to the standard that people had expected. But certainly in this game today, they pushed Ireland all the way.
Well, Ireland with the victory, 16 points to 9. Let's hear thoughts of their coach, Joe Smith.
Congratulations, Joe, through to the quarterfinals. What was the coach's view on that?
The coach's view, it was a little bit of what we expected. We've been allowed to probably cruise through a little bit those first two games, and it's a bit of a shock to the system to come up against a Tier 1 side who it was win or you're out today, and they did everything but. They're probably unlucky. Josh Furno almost went in the corner. They probably had a little bit more possession than we did, and put us under a lot of pressure.
We're a little bit more nervous than you wanted to be during that game.
Yeah, sure. I think I was nervous before the game because I I just kind of felt it might be that sort of game, and unfortunately it was. But fortunately, I think I said last week we'd take a 1-point win. A 7-point win is good enough.
Sets up a nice tasty number against France to finish the pool off.
Yeah, look, I think they're another level up again, and so we're going to have to raise our game. We're going to work on that during this week, and hopefully come up against them and give it our best shot.
Best of luck and all the best.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you.
And Ireland will be much better for the experience of this tougher match, as Joe Schmidt was saying there. A slightly easier opening against Canada and Romania. A big step up today against Italy. France to come in a week. A few of the high points from the match for both sides, and once again this was the so nearly a try from Josh Furno that Joe Schmidt was talking about, and O'Mahony getting across, and just the lack of a sort of winger's eye for the corner. And Josh Furno, the lock forward, couldn't quite get there, but O'Mahony with a great covering tackle.
No try.
Penalty at the time, it brought Italy back within a single point. Sexton offering the high ball for Kearney. Henshaw nearly getting there, but there was already an advantage. And Sexton re-establishing the lead for Ireland. And the 4-point lead turned into a 7-point lead when another penalty was earned. And these were the final points of the match. Johnny Sexton giving Ireland that 7-point lead. Then there was this challenge from O'Mahony on Furno. He'd put in the try-saving tackle on Furno, and then he put in this hit with the shoulder. That earned him 10 minutes in the bin. That was the end of his match, but Ireland were able, even within 14 men, to stay strong and see themselves through. So this is how Pool D looks now. Ireland on points difference go ahead of France, and what a match that is going to be at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff in a week's time. Italy can go no further. They'll be playing for third place in that automatic qualification for the World Cup in 4 years' time in Japan, when they take on Romania in their final match. But Ireland, it's so close between them and France, the points difference as well. The games still to come in this pool. As I mentioned, that match between Ireland and France, but these are a few more of the matches in the World Cup coming up. We've got Canada against Romania, that's on Tuesday, also in this pool. Fiji against Uruguay. South Africa against the United States in Pool B. South Africa now in control of that pool. That is here at the Olympic Stadium on Wednesday. And Namibia against Georgia, which is down at Sandy Park in Exeter on Wednesday. I will be there for that one. So, Ireland have seen off the challenge of Italy today. They might have expected to see themselves through comfortably. It wasn't so in the end, but crucially for Ireland, they are through. 16-9 winners. What a game to come against France in a week's time. Thanks for joining us.